Okay, it's just about 11:30 here, so I think I see quite a few people have logged on and look like they're all set, so I think we're going to get started. So thank you all for joining us today. My name is Mary Ann Clerkin. I am the marketing department of Threshold Security, and we are the providers of your eVisitor software. So we are glad to have you here today to share with you some of the updates on eVisitor software specific to the COVID times that we're living in right now. So our presenter today will be Ron Coleman. Many of you may know Ron. He's a national accountant executive here at Threshold and been with us for close to 20 years, I believe. Ron is also extremely involved in the security industry, and he's right this year he's the co-chairperson of the Southern Connecticut as ASIS International, as well as being very active in other security associations such as IAHSS, InfraGard, TinyG, and SCAN. So thank you, Ron. So today our goal, as I said, was to talk about the way COVID has changed the way we're all handling of visitors in and out of our facilities. And since you're all users of eVisitor and shared with us some of the feedback that you were having, problems that you were having, we were able to add some new features to the eVisitor software based on what we heard from you. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, what these new features are. So on that note, I'm going to turn it over to Ron Coleman, and he'll be sharing with you about the 4 new features and giving you a live demonstration of how they all work. So thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Marianne. Hello to all. Thank you for choosing eVisitor for your visitor management system. As you know, we periodically update the system with new features. Here are 4 features to keep pace with our changing reality and these COVID times. Our screen badges work with your screening process to identify and certify that visitors have passed your screening process. They are available as a drop-down category field on your software or as a pre-printed badge for manual input. To add this feature to your drop-down list, please contact us. Our manual badges can also be used to screen employees and give them a visual badge to show that they are cleared to be there today. In these times, maintaining a sterile environment is very important. We have designed our system for touchless registration. Our Turbo driver's license reader can scan a license through a plexiglass shield and pull the visitor's name. All other visitor info is collected by the receptionist, positioned safely away from the visitor. By positioning your printer outside the screen, the visitor can remove the badge, activate it, and wear it without any direct physical contact. Contact us for more tips on how to set up COVID-sensitive reception areas. Another feature is our contact tracing fields. These fields make it easy to record visitor phone number and email so that in the event of an incident, you can easily reach all people who may have been compromised. Our room tracking feature allows you to control how many people are allowed in a room in accordance with your protocol. Finally, our visitor by destination feature shows you visitor volume by room as well as total visitors in your facility. Now, let me demonstrate these features for you on eVisitor.
While Ron is flipping over to his eVisitor screen to show you a live demo, I just wanted to mention that there is a question button on your screen, and so please feel free to send us any questions that you have throughout the demonstration, and we'll circle back to those at the end so that Ron can answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Marianne. So as you can see, as all of you are familiar, this is our eVisitor software, and you'll see here that there's under the category, we do have a screened category. And like I mentioned before, if this is a feature that you would like, just give us a call. We'd be happy to add that to your drop-down menu. Now let's enter a visitor's name and show you how we can use our contact tracing and other features. So we enter a name, and then we put in the room that they're going to. And you see that automatically our system pops up and tells us there's 2 visitors already in that room. So depending on your protocol, if your protocol says that there's a limit of 2 people, then you tell Richard that he has to wait until one of them leaves, or whatever else, or if there's 3 people that are allowed, then you would let him in. You can click here for details, and this would show you the people that are already in that room, David Becker and Katrina Welsh. You can also, let me go back to signed in. You can also, by adding information here, you can also add the email and other information for contact tracing later on. So when I say sign in and print, you'll see that Richard Hall is now added as a new visitor. Okay, now you can also add a feature we call a flag. I think everybody's probably familiar with our flagged process. For repeat visitor to designate how they can be handled on return, you can also click on our flagged system here, which gives you a series of either a red alert field, a VIP field for green, or other, which is yellow. For more information on how to use this feature or some of the benefits, please contact your representative. You can also, to access contact tracing, you would go to the reports field. And let's say we wanted to know all visitors from today, and I hit go. Now, this report will show you all the people that were signed in today, but it will not show you the contact tracing information, the contact tracing information, in other words, the phone numbers or the emails. In order to get that part of the report, what you have to do is you have to export export this information to a CSV file. And you'll see right here, in my case, it's showing the information, and I could put it in as a sample. I could say sample as the name for that file, and save it. And then I can go back and I can pull it up by just going into Excel. I'll show you what a sample of that would look like here. And you see that it does show the email addresses and the phone numbers for all the people who were signed in. And with that, I think I've just about covered all the features that we were talking about. Marianne, did I miss anything?
Can we show the visitors by destination and the total number of visitors?
Absolutely. I'm sorry, I missed that. Yes, if you go back here, you'll see that visitor by destination. You can look here, and you can see that there's 3 people in room 231, 1 in 232, and 1 person in maternity. So this is how you can look by destination or by room, how many people are assigned to each one of those rooms. You can also look over here and you see total unique visitors. It tells you that in your facility, there are 7 people in your total facility, seven unique visitors. So that's another way just to keep track of who's in your facility and where they are and allocate them. And with that, I think I'm done. Marianne, any other questions for me?
There's a question about the cost to add screened as a drop-down. Is there a cost for adding screened as a drop-down?
No, those features are all part of our standard registration fee. So when you purchased eVisitor in the beginning, all of the enhancements to add things like a drop-down menu here or a different destination drop-down, or even changing your logo, etc. Those kind of things are all included in your basic subscription. And when you renew your system with us, again, those features are included. So it's a pretty comprehensive value pack with no additional cost. It's all baked into the beginning. Any other questions?
The other question was about how do we get that if I don't have that in my system right now, so how can I add a screen visitor?
Good question. In order to add any of these drop-down fields, whether it's the screened or you want to add consultant, whatever you might want to add, all you would do is you would contact your rep, whoever you were working with, and let them know that you wanted to add that feature. They would contact our IT department, and they would call you and set up a time to add that feature to your system. Pretty much seamlessly. There's no interaction that you would have. He would just let you know when that feature had been added, and then you could open your system up and you would see that it's there.
Okay. There's a question about getting some additional training for our end users, the people sitting at our front desk that use the system. Can we get additional one-on-one training for them on these new features?
Absolutely. To schedule a demonstration or a walkthrough training of any of these features, just contact your rep and we'd be happy to sit down and go through this step by step with you so that you'll be comfortable with all the features. And if it's something that's, let's say, a little bit beyond what a rep can do, we will definitely have our IT or our support team jump in and help assist with that. So either way, you're going to get the full benefit of working with data management, threshold security, seamlessly and without any additional charges.
And there's a question here, Ron, about signing out. Is there a way to sign out a visitor if we wanted to have that in our system?
Well, sign out is a feature that's part of your basic system, and you sign out a couple of different ways. You can sign out by using the visitor badge that has a barcode on the bottom. Let me pull up a badge. Well, at any rate, right down here, there is a barcode that would be represented on an actual badge that's printed. That barcode can be held up to the sign-in scanner that you use to sign them in, and you can sign that person out as well just by holding it up and clicking sign out. And that's done just by excuse me. And then that's done by just going over here to scan, sign out, and right here you would be able to sign a person out.
Great.
The other way to sign them out, there's two ways of doing it. The second way is, if, like I have a list here, I can simply click on a few of the names that I want to sign out, and I can say sign out selected, and those people will now be signed out and they'll be in my signed out list. Okay, so two different ways of doing it, either by manually or by having the badge represented. And the third way, I should have mentioned, the third way that you can sign out is you can actually set you can have your working with us to set up your system. You could have badges automatically sign out of the system after a certain period. Typically, we say at the end of the day that it's a feature we can just auto sign out everybody that's in your facility. That means that you won't have anybody. The next day it'll be a clean slate and you'll have everybody. You start all over again. But that's a feature that it depends on what your protocols are, whether you physically want to make sure they've signed out, or if you just want to clear the slate, so to speak, at the end of the day.
Great, thank you, Ron. So if anybody has any further questions, please feel free to type them in there. But I do feel like we got a good taste of how how you can set your system up to be low contact or completely touchless. We shared with you about contact tracing, about showing visitors as screened, and then the last one was about facility count and room track and visitors by destination, basically knowing how many people are in your building and where they are throughout your building. So we hope that was helpful for you. And as I said, there are no more questions, but I will tell you that you can please feel free to reach out to us through, you could email us at customercare@thresholdsecurity.com, or you can call us at 1-800-243-1969, go on our website and send us a message that way, or just reach out to your representative and we can answer your questions or set you up with whatever additional training or information you might need. So thank you all again for joining us. We hope you found this to be informative and helpful, and know that we're all here with you during these difficult times of COVID, and happy to help you however we can. So please reach out. Thanks again, and everybody have a great day.
Yes, thank you very much for attending our conference.